Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Sippin and Selling
with Joey Chanel. Welcome back to another episode of Sippin and Selling. I have a repeat offender over here, my brother-in-law, Mario Benciivenni, who loves to wear sunglasses. So today, as a special accessory, I am donning a pair of shades, as is his friend, who he wanted to be a special guest all the way from his car in Long Island. This is Neil Mennella from Superstar Beverage. Welcome to the show, Neil.
Thanks for having me on. I'm very excited to be here today.
And thanks for coming, Neil.
And thanks for wearing your shades, Neil. Part of the party over here.
Like I said, unfortunately, I'm in New York, but I feel like I could be a little bit part of Florida more with my shades on.
I wanted him to come down and hang out with us.
I know. Next time, in person's always better. But
yeah, definitely.
I hear that you are the expert. Mario was talking about all of this, what do you call it? Chaos that's happening in Long Island in our business. And he thought that you would be the man to talk about what is going on, what you guys are trying to do in New York. Last time we talked about it a little bit on the show about how you guys are only allowed to carry certain items in your stores. And like I mentioned, you have your own. It's called Superstar Beverage. Where is that located?
So I currently have 10 locations. 9 of them are in Suffolk County, Long Island. 1 of them is in Nassau County.
Amazing. Make sure you guys are following them on Instagram. So Neil, what's the drama in New York? What's happening? What are we trying to achieve here?
So New York is a very unique state. We have beer distributors or beverage centers that have been grandfathered in since 1960. The licenses were all issued in 1960, and they've never issued another one since then. In order to get into the business, you had to purchase an existing license, and then you were able to move it around the state if you wanted to move your location or open up in a new place. But there was a finite amount of licenses. Since then, the state has issued about 50,000 retail beer licenses, which is what you would find in a supermarket, a drugstore, deli, or any other place that sells beer. So our license is very unique and has been a little niche in the market, but we sell the majority of the beer. So after 66 years, Governor Hochul, without any input or any sort of warning to the industry, decided that this year she's going to open up the license and just start issuing them again like any other license out there for solely the cost of the licensing fee. And it would erase tens of millions of dollars worth of wealth from the small businesses that have already owned these licenses and been fostering them and transferring them since 1960. And really, she did it to bring in big box stores into New York. New York is also unique. We don't have the cheapest anything in New York, but we have the 3rd lowest prices for beer in the country. Okay. And that's predominantly driven by the fact that most of the beer purveyors are independent stores. They're not chain driven. We don't have monopolistic practices out here. It's in our best interest to go to market every day, sell beer a little cheaper, or do a little bit better customer service, do something to entice the customer to come into my store. And that's kept change out of our state, which is why guys like me and Mario have been able to be in this business for 30, 40, 50 years and hope that our next generation has a business that they can get into.
Right.
So in essence, we got 400 small businesses, mom and pop stores got sold out for the likes of Total Wines and Costco's to be able to come into the state and expand their beer business.
Okay. So what are you going to do about this? Are you guys going to lobby against it?
Absolutely. So I'm the director of New York State Association of Beverage Centers. That's the lobbyist group that represents all of the beverage center owners' interests in New York. We lobby up in Albany for everybody. And most of the time we are playing defense because as an industry, we're a small amount of stores and there's always a lot more legislation that comes along that affects us. So we're always trying to make sure that anything that would affect us doesn't have a negative impact on our business. As soon as this was put out, like I said, we had no forewarning to it. It was dropped in our lap when the governor put out her version of the budget. So we jumped right to it. We hired a high-power lobbyist firm called Gotham. They've been great. And we just started working, banging away at the Senate and the Assembly to make sure that we kept this change in the law out of their versions of the budget so that it wouldn't get forwarded through to the final version of the New York State budget, which is really another place that they like to hide legislation where they feel they won't get pushback for it.
And how did we stumble upon it, Neil? It was accident, right? That we saw that it was in this bill, right?
I had heard a few rumors that there was something going on for it, but we couldn't find it anywhere. I had heard from maybe like 2 or 3
Interesting.
months
It was
prior.
secret, huh? They were
Yeah.
keeping it
Oh, yeah.
from you.
Big time. Big time. And even the source I heard it from was like really quiet, didn't want to be named, didn't want to give me more information, just kept saying, hey, listen, they're going to do something with this. Keep an eye out for it. Watch the budget. So as soon as the executive branch budget was released, we had our attorneys start reading through it with a fine tooth comb. And within hours, we were able to find it hidden in a public protection portion of the budget, not anywhere near commerce, not anywhere near alcohol beverage sales. They hid it under public protection, and they
Interesting.
snuck this in there that it would be a simple change. They would just issue wholesale licenses that would have our retail privilege, in essence, making our license over and over for the simple cost of the license fee, which is $125. A C license, which is the license we're talking about today on the open market, has a value of between $30,000 and $50,000.
That's so wild. And honestly, it's a little bit conspiracy, right? It's like, why would they hide this? And I'm sure you have your opinions, Mario, and I'm sure you're like chomping at the bit to talk about this. You should bring this guy when you go up to Albany. I'm sure he wouldn't shut up. But I mean, okay, so let's go down the devil's advocate side.
Sure.
You didn't hear about it. It happens. What in reality does that look like for a business like yours that has 10 locations? How much money would you potentially lose?
Well, immediately we lose the value of our license. So if you're saying a license is worth 30 to 50,000, I have 10 of them. So there's
Yeah, crazy.
300,000 to 500,000 of wealth of money I paid for already. I bought these licenses. We've been renewing them. They cost about $1,100 a year per license to renew them. So that gets completely wiped off the block. The bigger threat, though, is that it takes away the barrier to entry to our market, and it allows big chains like the Total Wines of the world to come in, establish themselves, and their practice has been to go into markets, sell below cost, wipe out all the independents. Once they absorb that market share, then they monopolize and raise their prices to the point where it's even more expensive for the product than it ever started off. In 2015, they did this in Washington state. They lobbied, got the law changed, got a referendum where they were able to reopen the license. And it allowed them to come in. They spent 2 years undercutting all the independents. And then after that, once the independents were gone, they raised the price of beer and liquor in the state to, they were, I think, like the 14th lowest at the time. Now they're like the 14th highest. So it was a
Wow.
complete turnaround. And they did a survey 3 years after that referendum, and it showed that 54% of voters who were in favor of the referendum when it passed were now actually against it because they saw what it basically did to their whole alcohol beverage marketplace, which has decimated all the independents, brought in major chains, and then the chains monopolized, raised the prices, and now it costs the consumers even more money to buy their beverages.
Right.
And even the place that was closest to me was Old Country Road. They didn't fare well in the beer business, right, Neil? They pulled it from their shelves, I heard.
So you talk about conspiracy theory, right? That's the story that put out. But as we researched this more and went down the avenues of back channels, it looks more and more like they didn't have a problem selling beer. They had a problem legally selling beer. Most of their beer sales were being derived from other businesses going in there and buying from them. Now, because they had a true retail license and not a wholesale license or the retail privilege, which is the license you and I hold, um, they legally can't wholesale to another retailer. So they would have to charge them sales tax, which exacerbated their costs by 8.75%. And they also had to sell 50% of food items, non beverage or alcohol related items, which they weren't keeping that or maintaining that level. They were selling too much beer compared to the amount of other items that they were selling. So, in order to operate legally, they closed down that store. And within a few weeks, all of a sudden, you see this provision come out in the governor's budget that they would be able to apply for a C license. The provision would have been effective immediately. So in essence, they closed down at the end of 2025. This, if it would have went into effect, would have been effective April 1st, had the budget had passed by April 1st. So they would have been able to apply and reopen that location with our license without paying for one, within 3 or 4 months.
So this was major for us. This was huge.
Yes. Yep. Oh, yeah.
So crazy. Well, Mario said that you were a world of knowledge. Thank you for jumping on here and giving us all the facts about what's happening. And I love a good conspiracy theory.
Well, conspiracy theory is only 6 months away from the truth these days.
Right.
Yes.
I think that we're about 3 months into it. So it's starting to see a little bit more clearer the real reasons behind this.
Wild. Mario, you have any questions for Neil before we say goodbye?
Anything else, Neil, we want to discuss about the
One
bottle
other thing I
bill?
did mention, the bottle bill, and also we have an RTD bill. So RTDs, which are ready to drink cocktails, have been the hottest beverages on the market in New York. The way everything is split, if they're spirit based, vodka, tequila based, they have to be sold in liquor stores. Liquor stores are not set up the way beverage centers are. Beverage centers are alcohol first destinations, and we are large format stores that also take back the empty bottles and cans because we're a deposit state. So a customer pays a 5-cent deposit when they buy any beverage. When they come back to our store, they can redeem that can, get their 5 cents back. The legislation in New York for the bottle bill would expand the handling fee to more containers, including ready to drink cocktails. The liquor stores have pushed back and said that they don't want to do redemption. They can't take back the empty cans and bottles. So what I did was I came up with a proposal that would allow the beverage centers to be the redemption centers for the liquor stores. So they would be able to hang a sign in their store, sending their customers to their local beverage center to return any item that they had to pay deposit for in the liquor store. And in turn, we would then be able to sell those items that have deposit on it, which are the RTDs, the ready to drink cocktails.
That's huge because that stuff cut into, because I remember before these came out, Truly, White Claw, that stuff was on fire. I mean,
Yep.
during the pandemic, we couldn't keep enough of it, Neil. I mean, as you know, that Loverboy did pretty well. The Truly was amazing. White Claw was on fire. And as soon as these hit the market, it took a dip in those sales. So this will be huge for us.
Nice.
And the thing is, the consumer doesn't know the difference. Right? The consumer drinks a can of an iced tea that has alcohol in it. They walk into the place that they bought the last can of iced tea that had alcohol in it, and they don't understand why you don't sell it. And they look at us like we're idiots. We don't
Right.
want to run
Yes.
our business. Why do you not have this? So there is a lot of problems with the legislation in New York, and the consumer really isn't abreast of that. They just want to be able to go buy their drink, get a good price on it, and go home and enjoy their time. And that's what we're trying to bring.
And listen, if this happens with the bottle bill, it's huge for me. You know, I got 11 machines right now, and my redemption center is really rocking. And matter of fact, I'm even having a problem right now that I'm having people more with redemptions than with retail sales. So I'm actually, I have to like play traffic cop inside the parking lot just to loosen up for retail sales because we're doing so many empties right now. I have to figure out a way to get these guys parked somewhere. My nephew was telling me yesterday there was somebody there for 5 hours, Neil. My nephew's like, you could stay here, just go park in the street somewhere. So it's a good thing because we're earning, but I think it's going to be a great thing because they're going to need us, the liquor stores, I feel, tremendously.
Well, and that's the other thing. Listen, we do a lot of the cleanup out there. Okay, we take back all these empty cans and bottles. It is not a very prestigious job running a redemption center. We are legally forced to do it because we're dealers of beverages. But beverage centers have embraced that because we don't have many other profit centers. So redemption is a big deal for us, and that's why you're so successful with it. You make a good redemption center. Customers want to come back there and bring you more items. But you're doing the cleanup for all of your town.
Of course.
All those other beverage dealers that are not taking back any empties and doing that dirty work are counting on you to do that. And that's why we're pushing back to the state and saying, hey, we need a break too. We need more items to sell. We need an increase in handling fee. The last increase in handling fee was in 2009. Okay, minimum wage was $7.25. We're at $17 an hour now for minimum wage.
Sure.
I have to pay a 17-year-old high school kid almost $700 a week to stand there and sort cans and bottles.
Right.
He needs to do like $400 an hour in order to make his pay. It's almost impossible.
And that's why I put in the redemption machines, because it got to the point that I was so disgusted with the business, Neil. I swear, when I met Bobby Vessa at one of our meetings, he changed my mind. because I
Yeah.
had Louis, that was an old owner, telling me you're going to lose sales. It's not personal service. You're going to lose money. I was at the point that I was ready to sell my business just because of the empty room. I had lost all control of that aspect of the business. I mean, what was I going to do, Neil, after 25 years? Go sit inside my empty room and start counting empty so I wouldn't get robbed? So
Yep.
it turned out to be the most profitable and biggest thing I did in my 32-year run. It changed my life, and it became a very good profit for me. We cleaned up, and let's call the truth. You go to a supermarket, they got 3 machines there. Why? They have to accept it legally, so they make it impossible. Half of the times the machine are filled. Like if I'm shopping in a supermarket, I hear the courtesy counter, please go take out the empties or empty it. They don't care because they know there's a beer distributor in their neighborhood. And the girl at courtesy told me one time I went to go ask for something or get a money order, and she told me, we send everybody to your place. She clearly told me, when the machine is full, save yourself the aggravation, go to Frank's Beverage. So you know what?
No, maybe you could put a sign up there, start advertising your store right on their machines.
You know what? At this point, I'm doing tremendous numbers, and I wouldn't mind it. It's hard to make like my nephew understand. He gets so aggravated when somebody comes in, and there's so many people, and there's not a spot. But I try to tell him at the end of the day, Sep, when the 20th of the month hit, and that check hits that account,
Yeah.
Neil, I got to tell you the truth. It was changing. I mean, serious. It became a serious profit in my business.
You guys got to pause though, because people listening don't know anything about what you're talking about. So
So,
dumb it down. So in New York, if you have a small beverage distributor, you are required to take anybody's cans that had an alcohol or beer beverage product in it, right, to the stores. But you couldn't do like a coffee can. It has to just be.
it has to be a New York State deposit stamp on it. So as long as it's got a New York State. But before I did the machines, the beauty about the machines is, and Vipco, it's got barcodes from everywhere. So now we're taking more. Before, when I was counting them by hand, I think the law was I could take back what I sell. But being that they have all computers, they plug in all their units, and I'm getting other barcodes. So now I've opened up and start accepting things that we didn't have to accept before.
Okay, so stop there. So now you come in, it's almost like a recycling program. These people come, they bring their cans, and then they're redeeming them there. And what are you doing? You are giving them a piece?
No,
like
no.
Like what are you doing?
Well, they take, when I have the machines, they become partners with me. They're taking a percentage of my profit on all the empties that we traffic.
But what is the benefit of the consumer coming in and giving the empties?
I can explain it to you a little bit easier. So let's say you see Target has a case of water on sale for $2.99.
Yeah.
You go there, you buy the case of water, but you're paying $1.20 deposit on that case of water, which is 5 cents a can or bottle times 24 bottles that are in the case.
Okay.
Now, if you want to get that deposit back, more than likely it's going to be very difficult for you to go back to Target and give them your empty cans and bottles.
Okay.
Although they're selling it and they're legally required to take it back, what they may do is put a couple of machines out in front of their store.
Very minimal.
Like Mario spoke to. Invipco is one of the companies that supplies the machines. So you partner with a company like Invipco. They put machines out there. They count all the units that go through your machine, and they pay you for it. The customer pays 5 cents. When they redeem the can or bottle, they get their 5 cents back. So it's hard for them to do that. What the machines have allowed us to do is now we could take back Target brand water, where before we had machines, I could only take back Poland Spring water because that was the water I was selling. I wasn't selling Target brand water or Walmart brand water or Kirkland brand water. Now I put a machine in, and Vipco uploads the codes for the Target, the Kirkland, the Walmart brand water, and the customers can now redeem those water bottles that they bought at all these other retailers through our machines in our stores.
Got it. Thank you very much, Neil. Because like I said, I wasn't really following along. I'm sure my listeners wouldn't be following along. All right. Well, like I said, you're a world of knowledge. Thank you for sharing all of these stories with us and what's going on in the state of the business of New York. Last question for you. What are the best-selling items in your store right now?
Well, bottled water is still actually, believe it or not, the top volume case that we sell.
Okay.
Cases of bottled water is still the hottest thing. When it comes to alcoholic beverages, we're on the coattails of that seltzer expansion that Mario mentioned.
Yeah.
Iced tea, hard iced teas have still been hot. So the Twisted Teas of the world,
Yes.
or the Noka Two Turnt. I don't know if anybody knows Two Turnt Tony. He's a social media guy out there. He has his own line of iced teas and lemonades that have
Okay.
been pretty hot out there. And craft beer has still actually got some legs to it, but it's become very selective in smaller boutique breweries. So it's a little harder to paint your store with the same paintbrush. Like, I have different locations, so I get geographically relevant craft breweries in each one of the locations. What's in Oyster Bay is not really selling over in Bayport, for instance.
Mhm.
So we try to stick local, and there's still a much bigger fan base for the local brews on the craft beer side of it. But it is going more towards the RTD type spirit based iced teas, lemonades,
The hemp, the
things
THC,
with more
starting to
flavor.
make, starting to,
And then, right, THC beverages are getting very popular out here too, which there's some shady laws and the way we can go about selling it, which technically we shouldn't be selling it.
Right.
But New York State made this CBD license that covers some stores or some items, but not others. So there's still a very loose framework around the THC drinks in New York. And that's another thing we're trying to shape up so that we can secure them for our segment and be able to expand that as well.
Amazing. Well, thank you very much, Neil Mennella, for coming on Sippin and Selling as a guest today. We
No
appreciate
problem. I
it.
really appreciate you having me and being able to let us tell our story a little bit. I'd love to come back another day if you ever want to talk about anything else. And
Definitely.
I think it's a great thing you guys are doing out there. So enjoy it.
okay, thank you for really talking with us, and we're going to have you here. We're going to talk about this further.
And we'll
I
have a
might have to take my
meatball
sister-in-law's advice and come to Albany with you.
Yeah, you should. He's your mouthpiece. He wouldn't shut up. Bring his ass.
I hear about these meatballs. I think we got to have a little dinner or
I
something.
mean, Ben is sitting on the couch here. He's daydreaming in the computer. I told him to put up a hot plate and we'll start cooking and we'll start making a mess of things. But I'll get him. I'm going to motivate him today.
You should have made them before you got there. Just bring a
I
bag
know.
full of
He was
meatballs.
supposed to come cook for me on Sunday, and he's bailing, Neil. So we're in a fight today. We're fighting.
Don't worry, Neil. We're gonna cook for all our beverage guys. We got to get them together somehow, but we'll figure that out.
Hey,
When we
you know
get
what?
back.
Maybe that would be a good fundraiser. We could do like a meatball off.
Listen.
Like a chili tasting and do a meatball.
I like
contest.
it.
I like it. Sounds good. Sounds really
So
right,
good.
guys.
I
Thanks,
appreciate you. I
Neil.
appreciate you a lot. All right.
Thank
We'll
you.
talk during the week.
Have a great
Thank
one,
you.
guys.
Thank
Talk
you.
to you soon.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Well, that was nice.
It was, and you know what? We have to get out there, and we have to, they step on us all the time, Joe. I mean, I was just looking. My store got its license in 1942, so that's 84 years ago when Mr. Frank Napoli got my license that I bought from. So he's there. He was there 52 years, and me, April 17th is my 32-year anniversary. I'm proud of that. And I know we talked about this one time with your dad.
Yeah, that's why I'm
school.
sipping. Every time you say 32 years, I'm playing a drinking game by myself and sipping my sport coffee.
I want people to know that because I'm there in the grind. And these people try to take away my license. I'm not saying we wouldn't have been there, but we've worked hard since 1942 to maintain this license. You know what it is with minors trying to buy? It's not easy to maintain them, and they're willing to give them to every Tom, Dick, and Harry. That's not fair either. So that's why I wanted Neil on to get it out there. He was up in Albany fighting for us, really trying hard. I called my local politicians, me and the guy up the road from me. We got involved to talk the best we could. We had people signing, so we're trying to get out
You
there.
need a translator. That's why Neil's there.
Yeah.
Because he is very well spoken.
I'm a little rough around the edges.
I know, but I love it. I love you. And so do my fans on Sippin and Selling. That's why, what is this, your third time here?
Yes.
And I've got sunglasses on because of you. I mean, come on. It's like I'm with my father.
I mean, we should have had him here
I
today.
know.
We really would have had a few laughs.
So good. Well, we were talking about the meatball off, and I always like to talk to you about food, obviously, and you love to cook and you love to eat, and I was talking smack now because you're not going to cook for me, and I'm hungry. It's lunchtime. So why don't we do another little segment about food? I have some random questions for you.
Shoot.
Okay. One I didn't touch on last time was, is it sauce or gravy? I had never heard gravy before. This is like something that's new to me since I've been in South Florida because I guess Steve Materano talks about gravy, but I never heard that.
Not growing up in my house. And remember, my family's all from the other side. My father comes from a small town outside of Palermo called Chimina. I've never heard anybody, even the ones that could speak English, call it gravy. So I don't know where this came from. I know there's a lot of controversy.
Yeah.
But in my house, it was sauce.
All right.
Or salsa, as my grandfather would say it. So I don't know what these people are talking about. I never heard it addressed as gravy.
Interesting.
So let them bang their head against the wall with that.
Yeah, there you go. It ain't gravy, baby. All right. What?
I mean, gravy's when you eat a piece of roast beef and you throw that brown
Mashed
stuff on it.
potatoes. Yeah.
Fries and gravy?
Yeah. Well, that's poutine.
Listen to me.
That's if you're
You
in
gotta
Canada.
worry about the kitchen here. If you
Yeah.
really bored, just let me cook for you one time. You'll have me on every week. I'll make you more famous than you think you are already.
What do you think is the biggest Italian stereotype out there?
Listen, I love my Italian heritage, but all the spoofing going on and, you know, all the gabagool and all that stuff, it's fun. But you know what? It is what it is.
It is what it is.
I mean,
You have a few phrases you say, though, that are very stereotypical, like, how you doing?
yeah, that's my favorite.
I know.
How you doing?
You do a couple things. You cook sauce on Sundays.
I cook as long as, listen, I'm just trying to keep up these traditions with my children because there's so many distractions, Joey, for us to get together on a Sunday. And listen, my sons play in MLS soccer. We're running all over the country. We try to cook during the week. Like, I've even made a few videos at home and I cook pasta and meatballs like on a Thursday night just to keep us sitting down and having conversation and just sitting at the kitchen table.
I love that.
It's lost. I mean, how often do I come to your house and we get together and we cook, whether we're making pizzas outside and cooking pasta? For me, these things are important. For the average people, they don't get it. I don't think it's important to them.
But that's why you're a great family member, but also in business 32 years, because it's a part of hospitality. It's a part of you. And it's the experience that people want to come back to, keep coming back to, because they remember the treatment, they remember the service, they remember the laughs, they remember the good food too.
And let me tell you something. I met a ton of beautiful people in my stretch. I mean, doctors, lawyers, business people, people that become friends. And I'm going to say it again, when you shake somebody's hand and you greet them with a little warmth and ask them how they're doing, it goes a long way. I shop like you do. I'm going everywhere. I'm ordering Coca-Cola online. There's not even somebody saying hello to me. So these things are important to me, and I feel that's why I'm so successful. That 30 seconds that I take time out just to say hello to somebody, ask them how I'm doing, give them a hug, ask them how the children are doing. These things are important to me, and it's been working.
So this is the biggest mistake you think with new suppliers that come into your store. Do you feel like it's because you're not seeing a person? If someone tries to get a new product into your store?
Other than Coca-Cola, I do online, but I do have a salesman. His name is Mike, and he's a sweetheart. I call him, he answers the phone. But like I told you, years ago, it was a little more personable. Now I'm just a number to Manhattan Beer. I mean, I got a good salesman. I got good people. I got guys that love me. But I just think a lot changed. And I really got in at a time where that guy, routes were owned by Coca-Cola, was still family owned. Canada Dry, my guy owned his route. Those things changed. And I think we lost a little. But listen, everything changes. And when you're someplace that long, you're going to see change. And I guess it's normal. I don't have to like it, but it's happening. But it's okay.
Of course. And you got to change with the times, grow with the times. And at the end of the day, you keep saying, 32 years, it's a big deal.
And
but
I'm very
also,
proud of that.
I know you should be proud of it. I'm not making fun of you. I'm just playing this drinking game every time you say it. But the other thing that I think makes people successful outside of the following and the people that really love them and keep coming back to them and trust them, right? Like, they trust you. Your customers trust that whatever you bring into Frank's Beverage is good because you brought it in. But sometimes maybe not. Maybe you brought in a product because you really like the sales rep, or maybe you brought in a product because I told you it's doing well, and
Definitely.
and maybe it flops in your store, like Neil was saying. Like, maybe it's not the same thing that's selling at each location. But what I personally wanted to ask you is, what else do you think makes Mario Benciivenni and Frank's Beverage successful?
My personality. I don't care. And my word. Joey, I tell somebody something, I don't care. I'll jump through hoops. If I promise a deadline, or I promise somebody I'm going to be there, or I call a customer priority. Listen, I have a lot of people. There's a fella by the name of Mr. Bell. He's the manager of the Mutton Town Country Club. I met him 30 years ago at North Shore Country Club. For the most part, for 30 years, he's taken me with him. I respect that man. He calls me on my cell phone. I'm answering the phone. Mr. Bell, what do you need? His right hand is a lady named Jennifer. They're my customer. He's not calling me to talk about the Yankees. He's got something to tell me. And I think that those relationships are still important. That, old school relationships. Take pride in what you do. confronting your customers. You need anything, a new product comes out, I try to send it to him. If he needs anything, listen, everybody gets jammed up. It's summer, it's 90. Mario, I'm out of ice. All my guys are out. I figure out a way. Call one of my drivers back. Drop what you're doing. Go there now. I think those things are the most important. Personal service. You give somebody attention, they're going to give you their heart, in my opinion. Listen, there's a lot of people have different ways of businesses, I have one store. Neil's got 10. I'm there. Saturday, I'm sitting there. It's 90 degrees. I'm not home swimming in my pool. I'm out. I'm in the trenches. And I think that's important. When a customer phone, I'm actually there answering the phone. And I think it means a lot.
I think it does too, because your face is your brand.
Yes.
And like you said, your personality is your brand. I personally...
And wait, one other thing.
No, don't interrupt me. You're so rude.
Budweiser, you could buy anywhere. You don't have to come to me. But I like to think that guy that takes maybe an extra mile drive says, you know what? Mario's there. Maybe I get a chance to say hello to him. I run to the bank, I run here, but I'm there.
And he's supporting local, which is what Neil was talking about. Like,
yes.
We don't want all these big conglomerates to come in and squash the mom and pop stores, because they're just as important. And a lot of these mom and pop stores don't get their due, like you talk about. And then there's some that do. There's some that have a big following, and they have people like Mario behind the brand and Neil behind the brand, and they want to support them and they want to help them build and keep growing and stay in business.
And that's why I'm so passionate about what we're doing. It gets out there. I mean, listen, I donate a lot in my neighborhood, Joe. Anybody that comes in, I mean it. My nephew looks at me sometime, Uncle Matt, that's like the 4th one this week. I feel giving comes back to you.
Yeah, you talked about on the last episode about the woman during COVID,
Yeah, churches, any organization. Within reason, I try to help. I try to do the right thing. I feel it comes back to you,
It does. And I think another thing that I've noticed with my business, outside of people being your business card, right? Like talking about you and recommending you, I think the other thing that is something I consider to be successful is when you're making money without having to be in your store for you, or like having to be on the computer myself. Like, it may not happen in that moment, but when you see like the return on your investment of being a good person and being personable, and customer service comes first.
And I got my nephew, Giuseppe Moro. He gave me his heart. I'm sitting here because of him. I'm trying to teach him. He's a little young and a little green, but he's getting it, Joe. He's starting to see the big picture. Listen, you do a lot of ass kissing in business, especially when you're in retail.
Yeah, of course.
And naturally, I know the phrases, the customer's always right. I'm going to stop there.
Why don't you tell me one of your funniest Frank's Beverage stories about a customer? You don't have to name names, obviously. And if they're watching, they'll know it's about them, I'm sure.
I told you about the COVID cuckoo bird, right? In the hazmat suit.
Yeah.
What else?
Think about that.
I got to think about it for a minute.
You can think about it for a minute. I'm going to tell you one of my funny customer stories. I think most of my favorite ones about me is that over email, right? Everybody always thinks I'm a dude. So I'll send an email, like a cold lead, and they'll be like talking to me back and forth. And then when they try to shut me down, they're like, nah, we're not interested in buying Cask 420 or Claude Irish Whiskey. They'll be like, no, sir. This is not going to fit in our store. And then that's my favorite part, to just be like, well, actually, I'm a female, Joey. And then it's so funny because they all feel bad. And especially in these day and age, in this time frame, like, people are afraid I'm going to like send a complaint or something, or talk about them on a Reddit thread. So then they're like, oh, well, maybe I will try it. Send me a sample, because they feel bad because they think I'm a dude.
I tell you, there's so many things. All right, when we were counting empties by hand, there was a guy, he looked weird. And he had long hair. He was out of his mind.
Okay.
And one of my workers comes in and says, boss, all the barcodes, so the machines were in play already. All the barcodes are missing from the cans. So he figured out a way that he had like this arm, Joey, with fingers. And he was figured out a way to get the can read. He was cutting out the barcode. Basically, he was getting paid twice. So when he was coming to my empty room, all these cans were missing the barcode.
Wow.
Now, we weren't using the machines, but one of my kids got canned. I get into a scuffle with this guy. I tell him, I'm chasing him down past Range
Because
Rover.
you pay them when they do that? Do you give them money, or does the machine spit out money for them?
Now, the machine spits out a ticket. They come to the register. They can either buy something in the store, which we deducted, or redeem their full redemption now.
So
But-
he was screwing you good.
Well, he was getting paid twice, and I didn't feel that he should get paid
Savage.
twice. And that's when I was counting them by hand. So I get into an altercation with him. He was a little out of his mind, and all you see, I mean, my nephew was, this got to be about, I don't know how many years ago. All you see him, he's running down the street, and he takes off. I'm chasing him by Range Rover. All the mechanics came out. I mean,
I thought you were going to say by foot, because I would have loved to see that.
no, I was running after him. I was chasing him. I mean, that was a little.
Do you think I could beat you in a race?
Anybody could beat me in a race.
Really?
The days of me running fast are over.
Oh my God, that's so fucking funny. Listen, when you were younger, what sport were you good at?
I played soccer. Nothing on my son's level.
Okay.
And I mean
yeah,
that.
I was going to say, you're going to take credit for my nephew who plays for MLS. Shout them out. You wanted to shout out their team, didn't you?
And I wish I had my cousin Mario. He's the same age as me. He was definitely more talented than me. You know, so I was the one that was a little rougher. And, you know, I got
Knock
in there.
people out, take them out by the knees.
I wish
That's
my cousin
nice.
was here with me. He has a few good ones, you know?
Yeah.
But I played soccer. I love baseball. Never played it. I love watching the Yankees.
I
love
know
watching
you're a
the-
big Yankees fan. What was your favorite Yankees game to watch?
I remember the day that Derek Jeter came up. I was watching TV, and if my memory holds me correct, I think Randy Velarde got hurt, and they brought Derek Jeter up, and he never looked back. And that was probably the most memorable time about watching the Yankees.
Amazing.
And I made my son a Yankee fan, and you know, but my son's a very, very good soccer player, and I'm very proud of him, and he works very hard. And a shout out to LISC,
Yep.
MLS Next. I got to give it to them. All his teammates, they're constantly asking me and constantly encouraging me. You know, this kid Luke Gomes is a sweetheart kid. He always tells me, you know, I said to him as soon as I see him on the side, I say, how you doing? And you know, Jake Hobie and, you know, the whole team and his Tom, his coach, and they're all very supportive of what I'm doing. And they're always giving me words of encouragement, and it's nice. You know,
That is
My
nice.
son has a nice bunch of boys that he plays with, and it's a pleasure. It's a
Love
pleasure
that.
watching them every weekend, and we're traveling all over the country. It's a good time right now.
It is good. It's so fun.
And you see, every time your son's playing, I'm here. I come.
I know. You come
to
and
watch
sit
him.
in the freezing cold and watch our soccer isn't as
Listen,
exciting.
I know for one thing, he's definitely going to be a quarterback.
Yeah, of
Division
course.
I, playing for some big college. So I said to my son, we'll look forward to seeing Nico, and we'll travel all over the country watching him.
I know, right? I always say to him when he does go to the NFL, since I love music and one thing I missed out on life, and I'll ask you the same question. One thing I wish I would have tried was being a DJ. I love music so much, and I make sick playlists. And so I wish I was a DJ at one point or took lessons. And so I told Nico, if you make it to the NFL, when you're practicing, mommy's going to take DJ lessons, and I'm going to be the DJ at your games. I'm going to be like Granny up there on the ones and twos.
I know you say I talk a lot and send me to Albany. I watch those skits from your game. The only person I'm hearing is you. I love you tremendously, and I'll be there right next to you. But I think your husband, when you start screaming, he disappears.
Yeah, of course. I mean, listen, I'm an animal. We know this.
And Tina's the same way.
Yeah.
When the games are going on, I hide from her. I never stay with my wife at the game, no.
Tony likes to wear a shirt. Did you see the shirt on the back that says, like, my wife will bury you? He likes to wear that around. And I like to wear a hat that says, sorry about my husband, because, you know,
Listen, we're
not for everybody.
And we all get passionate about our children, you know. Usually when the game starts, I disappear. I like to go hide in a corner somewhere. There's 2 or 3 fathers that I'm close with. You know, I try staying with them. You know, I keep my mouth shut. Tina does all the screaming. I make sure she's away from me.
Yeah, of course, because at the end of the day, you never know who's at these games, right? They could be potential customers, current customers, future customers, and you don't want to embarrass yourself.
That's somebody's child.
1,000%.
You know, when you're screaming and you're talking a little negative about somebody else's child, it's not nice, yo. So, you know, I keep my mouth shut. We're good.
Keep your mouth shut. And it's the same thing in business, right? Like, that's the one mistake that I feel like a lot of people who are younger and are upcoming don't know, right? Like all the newbies, they love to talk. And they talk to everybody and they think everybody's their friend. And at the end of the day, this business is built on relationships, and you can't be talking to everybody, and you can't be sharing information, and you can't be talking bad about other brands, other stores, or anything like that, because you never know how that karma is going to come back too.
And what about this? Listen.
What, this?
Yeah. Somebody gets on the shitter and
Starts writing?
and they rip your world apart.
Yeah, no, it's messed up.
And you don't even have a chance to defend yourself. So what I try to explain to my nephew, even me, I'm the hothead in the store, but you got to take it easy, because in one shitter, they could bury you. they start posting. Then you got to defend yourself online of what you did and didn't do, whether it's the truth or not. So things have changed a lot in those many years that I'm in business,
Yeah, no, it's a slippery slope. So that is a stereotype about you that's true. You're a hothead Italian.
Yes.
You ever punch anybody? More than once?
The best is about a year ago, I had an altercation with a young man.
Okay.
And he told me to go fuck myself. And
Nice.
And listen, I'm older now, and my nephews heard that I'm not afraid.
Glasses hurt. I think I'm going to take them off.
Okay, go ahead. And he's heard, but I'm an
They
older.
hurt.
I'm old now.
I'm listening.
So, and my nephews heard that I was a pretty tough guy, and I'm not afraid, and I'm not. And a guy came in, and the store was full. So he tells me to go F myself, and it is what it is. I come back.
You laid him out?
No, I come back, and this guy's there. And my nephew kind of egged me on.
Oh,
He
man.
says, Uncle Matt, look, the guy's putting a beer on the floor, kicking the cans. Joey, I says to him, get out. He told me to go F myself again. My nephew sees me go outside, and I go to work. And he's like, what? I'm like, I said, you're fucking 23. You're supposed to be doing this, not me.
Hilarious.
So people, they bring you to another level. But the most important thing is to keep calm.
And carry on.
And
don't punch people.
And the customer's always right. And the best is they send it to my son. So even my son, he's feeling himself lately. He's 17. He's thinking his father's an old man. I tell him all the time, there was a time that
You were feeling yourself.
yeah, I can move around a little better than I'm moving now. But and my son, he's got to pass with me a few times, but he's got to understand that there was a day that his father can move a little better.
Yeah, of course.
But it's all good.
That's hilarious. In school, did you do anything else? Were you in any clubs? No? I know I asked you about school a little bit on the last episode.
You know what it was? My father owned a restaurant. I was very close to my dad. Still am. For me, the sun rises and falls with him, but that's for another discussion. He's my best friend, by far. But, my father was telling me, go to school, go to be the first one to go to college, and he had his arm around me. Take me here, take me there, go with me here. So, and when I was younger, Joey, it was much easier. We had a family business. It was a restaurant. Me and my cousin are the same age, the two first Marios. And it was just easy out of high school to go work with them.
Yeah.
My father bought me a car. I think at that time, and this is 1986, 1987, he was paying me $750 a week, paying my medical, and he bought me a car.
Yeah, that's great.
For me and my cousin Mario, that was the world, Joey.
Yeah.
But now with my kids, I feel they got to go to college. Years ago, it was a little different. If you're learning a trade, I think you got a shot. Plumber, electrician, carpenter, if you want. I feel that the country is lacking those kind of skills.
Yeah.
But it was a different time, and I don't regret nothing. I've been in the same place for a long time. I worked hard at it. We're recession-proof, COVID-proof, Sandy-proof, nut job-proof,
Punching people.
proof.
So good. So good.
We're doing it,
Yeah.
And-
Doing it well, like LL said.
And I got to tell you the truth. You have to love what you do. There's never a day that I get up and I say to myself, I don't want to be here. And I mean that. And I tell my nephew all the time, I'm in a pair of jeans, a Frank's Beverage sweatshirt. Who's better than me? I got my home and my business between 3 miles. I mean, everything is right there for me. I grew up in Glen Cove. If I don't have to cross over Northern Boulevard, I don't want to.
Right. But what's the goal here? You're going to get older. Are you looking to make this generational? Are you looking for your nephew to continue the business
If
and
he
then to
gives
keep
me his
rolling?
heart, I tell him all the time, out of all my stretch, I have a lot of beautiful things. You're my sister-in-law and you know firsthand. Cars, watches, homes. I invest in real estate. The only thing I didn't have was time.
Right.
I worked. I
Right.
put the time in. And if he's willing to do that, I told him a year ago, please start saving your money. I want to start a real estate corporation. I want to buy real estate with my nephew. Show him. Said to him, you listen to your uncle. In a couple of years, you'll be a millionaire. We'll buy our first 2-family house together. Put it in our corporation. We'll buy another one when we save up. I mean, he's my nephew. I love him to death. I got no reason to give him bad advice. None.
No.
So, if he wants to carry this, and I got people knocking on my door that would like to buy it. So whatever the future is, it is. At this point, I got 32 years in. Take a sip.
Take a sip.
32 years in. I'm very proud of that, and I ain't going anywhere.
I know you're proud of that, and I love that about you, and I'm proud of you too. It's not a small amount of time. I just can't believe I'm coming up on 20 years in the liquor business. Fucking old.
But like I said, your father, just pick his brain, Joe. I said it last time. You have no idea the hidden things inside that man's brain and what he's been through.
I know.
And so many things that my father told me about business have held water. Joey, when we bought, so I think it was 2 or 3 years after I bought the beer distributor, the house directly behind my beer distributor became for sale.
You told this story the last time.
I did.
You need to take fish oil. You are a repeat
all right.
parrot. But I love you.
All
This
right,
is what I'm going to tell you. I'm going to tell you this. What do you think are the 2 top skills your dad taught you about sales?
Working hard and being honest.
Okay.
Doing what you say.
Okay, let's sit on being honest because it's not easy. A lot of people think it's easy, and I talked about this before. For me personally, I'm usually on an island by myself. You know me, like you keep saying, I'm your sister-in-law. I'm not abrasive, but when you do something that I don't like, or I feel my time isn't valued, or you wasted my time and my energy and my conversation that I sat and gave you advice on, stone cold. However, the other side of that is sometimes you ask me things and you want honesty is what you say, but it's not really what you want because I will be the one to tell you, I don't like him. That's not the great deal for you. That person I wouldn't trust, etc. And then I'm on an island by myself because I said what not a lot of people want to say.
But continue that. That's going to get you further more than you think. And I'm still learning from my father. Example, a tenant calls him and asks him, one thing about my dad, his business after the restaurant, I'm in the beer business, is real estate. Fast Eddie, they called him on the street. When he was power investing, when he was in the restaurant, he tells a tenant something, and still to this day, Joey, I'm watching him. He delivers on what's he going to say. If he's delivering an apartment and he says it's going to be perfect, it's done. And that's honesty. And that's what I learned from him the most. And just being a man. And those
Give me some tools about being a man. What does that mean? You don't want to share?
Listen,
share with the audience.
The relationship I have with my father, I guarantee you, 90% of the children don't have with their father. I'm trying to do it with my son. My father knows everything about me. Joey, everything.
Bad and good?
Bad and good. I could tell him anything. Me and my father could go to a gentleman's club together. We could play cards together. We can hang out together. We can eat together. We'll take a ride and look at a piece of real estate. He's just one of those guys that's got a lot of experience. He's off the boat. He's proud of it. And he made do for everything that this country had to give him. And his word was everything. If Fast Eddie told you something, and that's what I took, and I try to be it.
Nice. And sounds like no judgment, which is why most people aren't on it.
And he'll tell you. Whatever's on his mind, he'll tell you. And I think I've learned in business sometimes not saying something. You said something about that before. I feel it's not lying when you don't tell somebody something, but if you really think it's going to hurt them, rather not say. And there's a thin line. You're not lying. If somebody asks you something and you think it's really going to hurt them, I hold back a little.
Right. Like if one of your good friends comes in and they're like, hey, I have this beer idea. I want to be sold in Frank's Beverage, and you taste it and it tastes like urine. You ain't telling them it tastes like urine. You're going to say, listen, I already have, something coming in similar. Circle back with me. Right.
And so sometimes you don't want to hurt somebody's feelings. Like even my wife. Sometimes they ask you something, and you know this in your relationship. If you know something's going to hurt your husband, if you just don't say, it's not lying.
Yeah, I agree.
Just don't say. You understand?
Omit it.
Yeah. You think it's going to hurt that person, don't say. And I apply that to business too. People call me. The only thing I'm really good at when I book a wedding or a party, I have the experience and I tell people the truth. You're looking for 7 flavors of soda cans. Just make it Coke, Diet Coke, and Sprite. Mm-hmm. People are going to drink what's there. You're trying to make everybody happy. And I had a lot of success with that. And smart people have listened to me. Like the keg beer business is dead.
Yeah, we were talking about that. Remember I asked you because I thought that was like a big part of your business, but it's not.
There's so much variety again, Joe. Why would you want to be linked to one beer?
No, you made sense, but that's why you're here, because I don't know about your side of the industry.
And it's good, and a lot of people listen. And it's the other day I was at the counter, and I deal with a manager from Bar Frites restaurant. His name is Alex.
Shout out to Roslyn.
Shout out to Roslyn, Bar Frites, my friend Alex, great guy, manager there. And I did his brother's wedding.
Okay.
And his brother Jamie came in. Naturally, how are you? How's your family? And he told me something the other day, that my wife still talks about how you took care of the beverages for our wedding. That meant the world to me, Joe. And he left, and I says to my nephew, this guy got married, and his wife still complimented Frank's beverage. That's what drives me. That's what moves me. And for the rest of the world, it meant nothing. But for me, she appreciated what I did, the coordination, the quantity, everything that I told her. That's the most important day of your wife. Go worry about something else. I got my end. Go worry about the caterer. Go worry about the beverage part. Put your head. Go to sleep. I'll be there when I say, and I'll do what I say. And it meant a lot that her husband reminded me of that. And
Yeah, it's sweet.
That's all about business for me.
I'm with you. I'm the same way. But I also think that it's something that is, we have to keep talking about it so people continue to do the pay it forward method. And we also have to explain that it does hold a lot of value. A lot of people don't think it does. Just the small little task of being like, hey, you really made my day easier. Thank you so much. That goes a long way, because guess what? We're all a little conceited. A little bit of us wants to have a little bit of an ego massage.
Yes.
And who gives a shit if it's from your household or your father, because they're anticipated to. When it comes from a stranger, it means a lot more.
And this thing that I'm doing, I happen to love it. I love spending time with you. I love talking about old school things. There's a lady named Lisa Valone.
Okay.
At London Jewelers in Glen Cove. I got to know her, Joey, since I'm 18 years old.
Wow.
She's been there, I think, out of college, if I'm right. And a big shout out to Lisa Valone from London Jewelers. The words of encouragement. Every time I go, I'm a jewelry buff. Watches, this, repairs. It's right in my neighborhood, and they own 5 stores, London Jewelers.
It's also in Wheatley Plaza, where I used to work. So shout out to Wheatley Plaza.
And she gives me, every time she sees me, she's proud of me, texts me. That's why I'm giving her. It means the world to me that she's taken time out that want me to do good with this and encourages me. My son plays with this Owen Gordon, his wife Cecilia and Roy Gordon. Every time I see them, they watched it. They're so proud. Words of encouragement. That means the world. That means I'm a good person and I'm trying to do good.
Yeah.
And those things mean a lot to me. Just a shout out to those couple of people that really, really want to see me do good,
Yeah, they want to see you win.
And especially Lisa. Once again, I told the husband the other day, he came in. I was surprising her with this. I says, I'm going to do a plug for your wife.
I love
He's
that.
like, she's going to be ecstatic. So
You think
Lisa Valone,
you think she'll help me buy some more jewelry?
anything.
My birthday's coming up, Lisa.
Just fly your husband to New York. We'll take care of him real good.
Yeah, that's right.
She's the best at what she does. It really is. And she's a sweetheart and a friend.
I love it.
And she's a sweetheart and a friend.
So what are some of your favorite restaurants in Long Island or on Long Island?
I'm going to tell you the truth. The Pohl brothers do a good job, and they catch me often there. Bar Frites, Alex is there. James and Hendrick's Tavern. I deliver to them. They're great customers, great payers, and the truth is they have a great product.
What's the best Italian restaurant where you are? Ooh.
Italian is hard because I cook, but places I like to go.
Yeah, because it could be the service, like we're talking about, the experience, the host, whoever.
There's a little place that's been there for 50 years in Glen Cove called La Bussola.
Okay.
Carlo, the owner's a dear friend. It's a neighborhood place. I love going there.
Love it.
Chris and Tony's in Syosset. My cousin is the Tony in Chris and Tony's.
Nice.
I go there family style. But other than that,
All right, we keep it close to the
and
best.
I got to tell you the truth.
I know you like Rayo's in the city too.
I was there Monday night.
Of course you were.
My friend John, I'm blessed that he takes me often. And I was there Monday night. So I had a good time. It was really,
love
really
it.
good. It was really good.
All right, Mario, this is the last part of the segment that's fun. I'm going to let you play too, but I'm going to start. I want you, if we were in a movie, because, you want to go viral and be famous, apparently, we already have stalkers. Who would play you and who would play me in a movie? I came very Jersey today. I was very mob wife with my choice.
I got you right away.
Who am I?
Sharon Stone.
Sharon Stone? Holy
Yes.
shit. I'm supposed to spread my legs like
No,
this? And
no. She's good
She's
looking.
blonde.
But that's you.
Oh,
You got a
Jesus.
little spunk, a little toughness.
Yeah. I
Sharon
can see
Stone.
that. Fine.
Old school. I mean, it was when I was
Fine.
growing up. She was
She was everything?
She was everything.
All right,
I mean,
fine. I'll
really,
take it.
Really talented, in my opinion.
All right. And you? Who would play you?
You tell me.
I would say Robert De Niro. Who would you want? Al Pacino?
I would say Joe Pesci.
Well, everybody knows you look like him.
But I just think
And you
he's,
sound like him.
I think he's just great. And I got to tell you the truth. He's a little older now, and if he ever catches this, he needs somebody to take over the reins. Just give me, put his hand on my head and help the process happen here.
I love it.
I mean,
It'll be good. All right, we're gonna shop this idea.
listen, you never know.
We need younger. We need younger. No,
I'm old school.
You're good with the old school.
I'm
Fine.
good with the old school.
All right, fine. Favorite pasta noodle?
Penny.
Really?
Yep.
Ugh,
Or
it's not my favorite.
If I'm making a meat sauce or a bolognese, parpadelli. It looks
Yeah,
like
yeah.
the little lasagna.
Better.
Yes. But penny's good because no matter what sauce, it
Goes right in the hole. All right.
And fusilli's are good. Fusilli's good. When I make my alla vodka, fusilli's good too.
Okay.
Really good too.
What's your favorite olive oil brand?
I like that Frantoia.
Oh,
I really do.
you don't like that new Grazie in the squeeze?
I do. I do
Okay,
use it.
I love
but
that.
Frantoia, I saw it, and at Bar Frites, they had it on the table. I bought a bottle in my local Italian market, and it really is good. It really is
Interesting.
good. But I use Bertolli. I use them all. And then, all right, her head is going to get big. A shout out to Anna Leandro, a very, very dear friend of the family. We met her and her husband when my kid was 5 on the soccer field, and we remained friends.
Okay.
And she gets extra virgin olive oil from Greece, and she gives it to me. And I have to tell you the truth.
It's great.
It's good stuff.
Very
Good stuff.
nice.
And she gives it to me constantly, and she's a very dear friend, and I appreciate her company.
Okay.
Shout out to Anna Leandro. I love you.
If you have to drink and it's not a white wine spritzer, has to be a spirit, what do you like to drink? I know you're not a drinker, but if you had to, gun to the head, you have to have whiskey, tequila, vodka. What are you having?
I was out at a restaurant called Plato, and it's a new restaurant over the last couple of years, and he gave it this.
Martini?
No, it was smoking. It was
Old fashioned. Yeah.
some photo, and it was unbelievable. I had it with my friend Sal, and
Okay.
it was great. We went out to dinner. He ordered one. I says, let me just be festive. How many times can you say no, Joe?
I know.
Listen, I went to a 50th birthday party. I don't know if I said this last time.
No, you didn't.
I went to a 50th birthday party
Uh-huh.
in Miami with a bunch of my friends.
When was this?
Oh, God, 4 or 5 years ago.
Yeah.
I didn't have one drink. My friend, I was pouring them over the balcony. We were in that club. I was throwing out. Want to hear a great story and we'll cut?
Yes.
This lady, Anna, invites me to a Greek Easter.
So fun.
And I'm honored because it's all her family. And she invited me, my wife, and the kids. And we go. I even says to my wife, that's a very secret holiday for them. She's married. They're inviting us. Let's go.
Yeah.
We go. The day's like overcast. I never forget. I had a Yankee jacket on, a fleece jacket. And both fathers make the Greek moonshine, I call it.
Okay.
So they're going around.
Probably called mastika.
It's one of them.
Mastika.
It's pure alcohol.
Yeah. It's like lighter fluid.
I don't drink. So my wife says, my wife sees it go around. They come around with a tray. They fill them. They go. I take one to keep everybody. They're watching me. Now these fucking maniacs, they're coming back.
Yeah, you just can't have
Tina-
one. It's like a Pringle.
Tina comes to me about an hour later. She's like, how the fuck are you still standing? I said, babe, Joey, when they were going Opa, I was throwing them over my shoulder. Joe,
So good.
they were like, how were you not crawled up under a tree? I says, you think they were going to get over on a Sicilian? When they were saying Opa, I was throwing them over my shoulder.
Oopa.
Oh,
So good.
Greek, and she learned this later on. So it
I
was
love
good
that.
stuff.
I do shit like that too. When I'm at meetings, I'm always with men, right? It's like there's not a lot of females in this industry.
But females sell
No shit.
more,
Hello.
more than anything.
We're also the ones that buy everything.
Yeah.
So I was at a meeting once, and this guy wanted me to sell his vodka. Same shit, like million vodka martinis. So I have the one sitting. I take a sip. I am like, excuse me, I'm going to the restroom. I hit the bartender. I give him $30. That's all I had in my wallet. I was like, oh, if I have to park somewhere else, I'm going to have to go to an ATM. I had $30. I remember it specifically because it was such a weird amount. And I gave it to him, shook his hand like old school. And I was like, next martini for me, water. And so every martini that came back around, it was water.
And I did that with iced tea one night with my friends because it looked like a cognac or something brown. I said, just put iced tea in the glass.
Listen, fake it to make it. It's annoying. Nowadays, it's more open-minded. People are easygoing about people not drinking. But for a while, it was a stigma and it was annoying because you'd have to like lie. It was stupid.
And you know what the best is? Like, I'll go out and I'll tell somebody I'll have a seltzer with cranberry or an unsweetened iced tea. And they say to me, are you recovering? No, I don't drink.
So messed up.
You know,
So
they're asking me
messed
if I'm a recovering alcoholic. I'm like, no, I just don't drink.
The balls on that
But
guy.
one of my closest friends says it all the time. When we're out and I'm being really funny and really having a good time, can you imagine if I drank?
Yeah, no shit. You wouldn't stop. Well, Mario, I always love having you here.
And I love being here.
I know you do.
love
We're a
it.
good duo. I'm going to leave you with one last question before we say goodbye. If you could describe yourself with one word, what would it be?
A true blue kind of guy.
That's not one word. What about me? I'm going to say
Very
for you-
smart. And I tell Tina that all
you.
the time. I
Thank
think
you.
you're a great businesswoman. I mean that, Joe. And that's why every time you
Matt.
post something, I send the two
You're the first
flames
one
with
to.
I'm probably your biggest fan
Yeah,
right now.
#1 fan club.
I believe in what you're doing, and I think it's a good thing. And I think the industry, and that's why if I ever do anything on my own, I want to have like guys that are in business 30 years. You think anybody in business 30 years hasn't seen trials and tribulations?
Oh, yeah, of course.
Joe, and that's the stuff I want to pride myself on. Guys that really dug out of the trenches, construction, whoever. Everybody's got a story. And I think the world, where we are right now, needs to hear these old stories.
I
And
agree.
how to get to where they got, like me.
Yeah.
You know?
32 years.
And I knew nothing about the beer business. Nothing. You know,
And like I always say, you don't drink. So that's so interesting to me because I'm similar, you know, I'm not a big drinker. It's not like I'm sipping booze every time I'm on this show, but I talk about it and I understand it and I appreciate it. But it's interesting, right? Because you don't get high on your own supply.
but the funny thing is now in the store is my nephew's making up for all of it.
Oh, well, there's
He's
that.
a 23-year-old. He's a triplet, and then he's got an older brother, Sammy, by 1 year. So they're experimenting enough. So I got him.
Yeah.
Customer will come in and ask me, Sepp, go ahead, give it a rundown, because he's had it before. So he's the official taste tester
I like it.
of Frank's Beverage, my nephew Giuseppe.
Makes sense. Well, guys, he's here for his third time, Mario Benciivenni.
And I'm coming back.
He's always here. He's going to move in, I guess. We're just going to be cooking on the next segment.
And I like a bad rash. You're not getting rid of me.
I like it. I like it. I'll take it. I have Benadryl cream at home. It'll be
Listen,
fine.
I don't want to go. The more you invite me, the more I'm coming.
I love it. Thanks for, I appreciate that, Matt, because you are very supportive. And that's something I was going to say. My one word for you would be supportive, because that envelops you as a whole. Like you said, with your customers, with your family,
And
with your shout outs,
Every
with me.
time you call me and bounce something off me, if you need me, I'm here for you. I told you that in the car before we came in.
I know.
Any way I can help you, I will.
Thanks,
I'm your
Matt.
#1 fan.
I love you. See you next time on Sippin and Selling, guys.
Thank you for having us.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Sipping and Selling.
With Joey Chanel.